So I've been along to that man Gareth's shop again, and I haven't picked up loads of stuff, but obviously as many of us are familiar with Cosmic Toys, I thought I would show you my pickups anyway. Hello there folks, don't panic, don't panic. I just went round to Gareth's Cosmic Toys Emporium, and he'd very kindly picked me up this little badge, bless him, for the next time that he saw me. And that was the next time that he saw me. So I've got it now. I almost lost this. Funny story. Because I had my hands full. I think I had Jake the dog with me as well. That's always fun when you're trying to look around a vintage toy store. I dropped it just as I was sort of settling up. And then I realised after I'd been in the car for about 5 minutes that I'd not got it in my back pocket. So I actually went back the following day because I realised that what had happened was I'd got my keys out of my back pocket and dropped it again next to where I was getting the boot open to put the stuff in the car. And it was still there lying on the road because I park in a very quiet spot in Dewsbury. So all's well that ends well on that front. So let's have a look at my pickups. Now this one, of course, immediately shouted out to me because it had J. Michael Straczynski on the cover, almost as if it knew that I was coming to the store that day. I know absolutely nothing about this graphic novel, apart from what it says on the cover and what it says on the back. And I'm not going to open it up because there are some slightly saucy bits in it, I think, because this is one of those sort of Marvel for mature readers type books. It's kind of it's a Marvel Premiere Edition, it calls itself. And as we can see here, it's the text on the back says, imagine the story of an alien being who came to Earth and grew to become the planet's most powerful and renowned superhero. Only instead of being imbued with strong family values from this country's heartland, he fell into the clutches of a government that was more interested in developing him as a weapon, a government that viewed him not as a person, but as an extension of both military and law enforcement agendas. Now imagine that there exist other superhumans in this bold new world who also seem vaguely familiar, but are really nothing like you remember them. This is the world of Supreme Power, and this collects Supreme Power number 1 through 6, and it has a parental advisory on the back of it. So I'm guessing this comes from that era of Marvel Comics where they try to go a little bit darker. And it's obviously what they're going to do is they're going to take people like Superman, one would imagine, and twist it and put it into the Marvel universe as different characters, but who didn't have such a happy time, being brought up. So that's quite an interesting thing, and it's exactly the sort of thing JMS would probably quite like doing. I'm just having a quick look for a year. This is a hardback as well, which is interesting. Because you don't often see that with graphic novels, outside of sort of annuals, really. Now, I can't read that. You might be able to read that on the screen. In fact, I can read it better now I've got light on it. 2009, 2003, 2004, maybe first copyright. That's quite interesting. So, let me just find a safe page. Let's see if I can find a safe page. Okay, so I quite like the artistic style. It's very clean, it's very crisp, but it's very sort of lifelike. So I'm quite up for this, I think, as a read. And as I say, for what it wasn't selling for, it would have been rude not to, quite frankly. So that was that one. I wasn't going on a big spree. I was primarily there to catch up on my Captain Americas because I was missing one from a sequence, and I wanted to grab that one. So these are Captain America number 7 and Captain America number 8, which I think is the one I was shy of before because I already had Captain America number 9, and I haven't despite it being a bank holiday, I still haven't sat down and actually gone through these yet. And this is number 10. And this is number 11. So there we go. So I've got all of those to look forward to, but as I say, I still have not actually got round to looking at them. So now then, that was not the only thing. This will make Gareth laugh because he knows that I've bought a lot of these. But I noticed that he got this in, so I nipped upstairs just to go and see if he still had it. And this is, as you might know already, is an Eaglemoss Star Trek ship from Star Trek Enterprise. This is a Xindi insectoid ship. It was mine for the princely sum of £5 or possibly less with some sort of discount applied. Now, you might be saying, why on earth am I getting this when I've already got shed loads of these? Excellent question. Well, in part because I don't have it, so it would go in my actual collection of ships, and it's from Enterprise, so it qualifies. But also because it's got this ridiculously huge box. I'm just casting around, and in a distinct lack of preparation on my part, I don't actually have a normal size box to show you, but every single other one of these standard sized ships does not have a box that is anywhere near this deep. In fact, they're about half that deep. But I think the problem they must have had with this one was to get the length. They also had to go high because it's got this sort of three. I think it's trilateral symmetry. Yeah. So it's got two of these blades that go down on either side, but also one that comes up. So to get the height of it, to get the overall sort of depth of it, they had to put it in a bigger than average box for a standard size model. So I think that's what scuppered them there. So they had to do something a bit odd. So really, I got it out of curiosity factor more than anything else, just to understand why it was in such a big box. But I don't think it's even a ship that we particularly see on screen for a massively long time. But overall, it's part of this sort of quite complex story arc that was, I think, in the 3rd season of Enterprise. So it's a cool design. I quite like the sort of symmetrical designs like that. And it's just quite unusual. So quite a nice one to have, I think. But as I say, just a really sort of odd box for it. I still haven't sold all my ones I got in the big job auction because people just don't seem to be after the ones that aren't basically the Enterprise itself, you know. But this is a theme I will return to. And in fact, I mean, I've got a lot in a box still that I haven't done individual videos for. So I might even crack on with some of those this weekend, possibly. But I think that was all that I grabbed from Cosmic on this particular occasion. As I say, it was really just because I hadn't been in for a little bit, and I wasn't sure when I was next going to be able to get across. So I thought I'd just get across and sort of pick up my my comic orders and catch up with those, and then I'm sure I will be back again in due course. So that's it for this one. Just a short pickup video there, just to update you on what I'd grabbed. And my thanks to Gareth for picking me up my Don't Panic badge, which I'm very glad that I was able to retrieve. So that's it for now. Do like and subscribe as ever, and cheers.